All right, welcome back. It's Scott with two T's. You can cross them in the top or the middle. Scotty two T's, your host and your guest today, the double feature. Yes, it's me. It's two T's. Here on the road to recovery journey today. We're going road to recovery because that's the story of my life, of what we do and how we deal with it. Um, it's been a lot going on lately, and the road to recovery never ends. If you've ever battled any type of addiction or any type of, it doesn't even have to be addiction, really. You could, actually, kind of is an addiction regardless. Say you end a relationship and you go into a depressed mode, um, and that's becomes your addiction. That can be an addiction too, is being in depressed mode, or in any type of those modes where you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to do anything. That's an addiction too. A lot of people don't know it. They think it's just part of their disease or whatever. Well, addiction is supposed to be a disease too, but that's just a life thing, I think. I don't know, to be honest with you. But to me, they're all go hand in hand because it's becomes of who you are throughout the years in your life, and you just got to learn how to deal with it on a day-to-day basis, basically. Sometimes hour to hour, sometimes minute to minute. Who knows? For everybody, it's different. You can go years without any struggles, or days or months, or it can go away, but for a lot of people and a lot of things, I'm trying to see, my hat just looks kind of weird. Sorry, guys. For a lot of things, people tend to hold on to. I hold on to things and all that. But yeah, so keys on a successful journey for the road to recovery are knowing you're dealing with something every day, regardless if you're dealing with it every day. Knowing how to offset triggers and things that can put you in a state of mind that can make you go down the wrong path and do the wrong thing. And also spiral into a depression or anxiety. All go hand in hand. So knowing that you have to deal with that every day, and being prepared to deal with that every day. Not a lot of people are prepared to do this every day. So that's the toughest challenge. And dealing with it sometimes can trigger you and turn you into a spiral where you go backwards. You don't necessarily have to, like me drinking. There's some things that make me spiral into getting an emotional feeling or attachment again with that. But that's just natural feelings. It's like if you've lost a loved one. Or say you, for me, when I lost the stepkids that I had, that was a big loss. You're going to lose. That's something you lost. Like, you don't have anymore. And you'll remember the good times, and that will always come back to you. If you lose a parent, when you think of that parent or brother or sister or cousin, any one of those people, and you think back of like a memory or whatever, and sometimes a lot of people get sad or turn and whatever. It's kind of like that. It turns into a memory that's something that you wish you could go back to and have, once again. But when those triggers happen, and your mind thinks of only the good that came out of any of those situations and not any of the bad. For me, when I think about alcohol and all that stuff, I just remember all the good times. Because all I had was good times, you know? You know what I mean? I had a great time. My liver, unfortunately, just does not believe. Well, actually, you know what? I was at the doctor the other day, and I had to get a new GI, is what they call them. And because my lady retired, and so I went to the guy, and he did all the regular tests and all that stuff. And he said, you know, how long have you not been drinking, blah, blah, blah. And it's been, here, October will be 5 years for me, which is crazy. Crazy. Yeah, man, pretty cool. But I said 5 years, and I asked him just some questions and whatnot, and he told me, you know, all the blood work, every test that you would do if I would go to the doctor, then they wouldn't know my liver was messed up, or even at that stage. I think it was like at the beginning of stage of cirrhosis, right around there. Maybe worse, but it's, you basically can't tell by any of the work. And so I even asked him, I said, you know, could I have a beer or two or drink? And would it even matter? Like, where would it matter? I go, not that I want to, because it's already with all these, whatever. And a beer wouldn't affect me. You know, 2 beers probably wouldn't. And, you know, on a weekly, monthly thing, whatever, it's not going to do really harm my liver, but that's a scary thought, you know what I mean? But the point of it is, I don't believe myself with any type of my personality. I have the addiction personality, you know what I mean? A real solid addicted personality, to where, you know, I could probably hang on for a while. And this is what a lot of people go through people's minds, when it's not a physical issue where you're not going to die or something. But then again, I mean, I guess I could have died. A lot of people that are in recovery, or say they got past their steps and, you know, they've changed, they're a different person. Whenever they drank, they couldn't handle it, you know, or you drank and it led to other drugs, or you drank and it led to cheating, or you drank and you drove too much and you got in trouble, or, you know, you just took a pill and you felt good, so you took another pill and you felt better. Man, yeah, happens to the best of us. And you think you got it under control. You're like, all right, I no longer am in that deep. I don't need, it's not controlling my life anymore, where I have to have it, I have to plan around it, I have to do this, where I need it to do something. And then so you're like, you know, let me dabble. Let me just dabble. Let me get one of them. Let me get one of them perks. You know, let me get a little shot ski. Let's go. But if you're someone like me and you have that addicted personality, then most likely that one's going to turn into 2. You can control that for a while, but that 2 turns into 4, and then some more, and then we got a pill, and then we got some other stuff, and then we got, you know, whatever you're doing, it's all the same, really, in reality. So, key is, have a plan. Have an exit plan, an exit strategy, a way to get out, without, and this is the hard part, without driving yourself into depression, self hate, being down on yourself, thinking self-doubt, all those things come into your mind like it's wild. It ain't even, no joke, no joke. That stuff pops into your mind. Next thing you know, all you're thinking about is how the biggest piece of shit you were and everything bad you've ever done to everybody. Well, that's not everybody. I mean, that's me. I know there's a lot of people out there that will do the same thing. Is you go through those phases where you're like just bashing yourself, you know what I mean? But don't do it. It's easier said than done. You can look back on your accomplishments, on what you've done. That's a big thing for me. Set little goals, set little things, set reminders. Sometimes it's good to write down how you're feeling at the time in your notes in your phone, and other things, and then go back and reflect on them a little bit later, like a couple months later, and be like, I usually do a month or 2 months, be like, damn, I've grown. I have grown. And it gives you a little bump in self-confidence of, all right, I've done something. I've accomplished something. One thing I always struggle with never thinking I've done enough. So regardless if I'm even putting in all the effort I can, I still don't think I don't think I appreciate enough of myself, maybe. Or maybe you don't appreciate enough of yourself. Because I'll talk to people and, they'll be real down on themselves. And it's like, look, I can see the change. You can see the big change. I can see you've helped him and her with your talks and with what you've talked about. And just who you are as a person. You've grown a lot. And what's crazy is everybody expects, like, when you're in your 20s, 30s, all these things of people to be balanced, structured, and understand the world. But in all reality, what is time in age? As we grow, we're always growing everywhere we go, in every situation we are. You learn so much more. Patience comes. Man, patience is something I need to work on. That's one thing that I struggled a lot on my road to recovery. And I felt bad for the stepkids and my ex-wife at the time. Because I was a lot calmer back in the day. You know what I mean? When I was boozing all the time, that was fun times. But then I started getting anxious and never had anxiety and never had all these other things in my life until then. And then someone was like, yeah, you did. You just never even felt them because you always drank. And maybe he's right. But I felt pretty good. I felt fine. I was cool with it. Yeah, those were the days. So, once again, like I talk on that. But I've also learned it's not all my fault on how things ended and how it didn't work out. It's easy when even if it's 10 years from now, you can feel the same way. Or, I thought time does heal everything, heals a lot, but there's triggers and things that will always set you off. No matter what, unless you're, somebody special who doesn't get that stuff. But then again, you're probably not watching this video and you probably don't have a fucking problem with drinking and stuff like that. But then again, you probably have, something else going on. It doesn't have to be alcohol. It doesn't have to be drugs, mental state, a lot of different things. But just know when you're on your path that you can do it. You got people in your corner. Even if you think that nobody's in your corner, there's people in your corner. And the hardest thing is using all your tools that you can, that people put around you, that God puts around you, that He surrounds you with on a way to recover and get past it and move on. He wants you to be happy and free. But we're trapped by the sin and the skin. You know, sin lives in my skin. It's just a part of me. It's who I am. I was born into it. We all were. That's the world we live in. But that doesn't stop me from trying to be better and doing better. I am no perfect, not even close. But I am a pretty good dude. I have realized that. And I think you need to realize it too. You're a good person. You are a good person. You do have good qualities, and a lot of people see the good in you. They see the good in you, and they see your heart. You have a good heart. You want to change. You want to get better. So, you are noticed. I promise you, you are noticed. It's a tough thing, tough thing to take in, and to actually hear somebody say that, or you look in the mirror, like I'm looking in the phone right now, and accepting that, accepting I am, because I know I'm a good person. And you can dwell on anything in the past of what you've done, of who you were, who you became. But all that is going to make you who you are today and a better tomorrow if you choose to. But that's all on a choice. All this is on a choice. There's nobody that can do this for you. There's nobody that did this for you. I give a lot of credit to the stepkids and my former wife on starting my journey. A long time I said they were the only reason on my journey, or the only reason I am, but it took me a while to realize, and it's for a lot of people, other people, I've heard people say, you know, you're stopping for the wrong reason, or other people, about other people, of like, you're just trying to stop to prove something. You're stopping. It doesn't matter what you stop for. To stay stopped, you have to do it for yourself. At some point, you know, I had to do it for myself. But in a way, I still do it for them. But I appreciate them all. I appreciate every one of them. You know, some things just don't work out, and that's just life. And you've got to learn how to keep living. No matter what the circumstance is, no matter what situation you put yourself in, no matter what situation somebody else puts you in, don't let somebody else put you in a situation. But you have to learn how to get up and do the things that you need to do and progress. It's okay. Put your head down for a little bit. You know, grieve. Soak in that pain. Feel it. Understand it. But don't stay there too long. You stay there too long, you'll get caught. You get caught, you're stuck. And you don't want that. You don't want to get in that spot. That's a tough place to dig yourself out of. But it's okay to drop your head for a minute. But pick that motherfucker back up and keep going. Grind, get there, do something. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what hobby you need to learn to get out of this other one. Because if it's an addiction, it's your addiction. And you can do it. I did it. I'm still working on it. There's things I have to tell myself every day on doing different things. And I'm on the road to the championship. Just like the Chiefs, you know? And what is your championship? Happiness. I can tell you this, if you're just searching for happiness, you're never going to find it. You're going to be searching your whole life. If you're searching for money, you're going to be looking for it your whole life. Nothing will ever be good enough. Nothing will ever be good enough. There's peace in the Lord. The biggest thing that I do, and I read the Bible a lot and pray. It's helped me out a lot. Yeah, that's helped me out a lot. And really, one thing to know is that, you know, God sent his only son down here to die for your sins. Like I said, we're born sinners. It's in our flesh. But if you believe in him, that he brought his only son to die on the cross for you, you will have eternal life in heaven. And that's huge. You know what that means? That means you lost some people. I lost my cousin Alyssa, my aunt Sheila, Chase, many others. Grandpa, my grandma. My grandpa, he didn't believe in the Lord for his entire life, almost. Remember, adamant about it. And then I remember when I got older, and he was older, something changed. And the prayer for my grandma was always going. And he started going. And he believed. It's not when you believe. It's not what you do. You can't earn your way in. You can't earn your way into heaven. There's nothing you can do. You can't be any type too good for any of that. By the grace of God. And by the grace of God, he's helped me through many situations. And some people will ask, you know, why does he allow babies to die? Why does he allow all this? Look, I don't know. If I knew, I'd tell you. But he's bigger than me. He's bigger than everyone. And no problem's too small. So that's where I find a lot of peace in that. But that's what helped me out a lot. That's what helped me out a lot. And I get in my head. The mind is a dangerous place. Don't get stuck in it. Don't get stuck and dwell on the negative in the past. It's good to look back in the past, but don't dwell on it. That's going to hurt your mind. It's going to hurt your head. That's going to hurt your heart. So, back to what you're looking for is peace. If you're at peace, you can be completely angry and still be at peace. You can be happy and be at peace. You can have emotions and be at peace. Not letting your emotions control who you are and how you act is one of the biggest things to accomplish in life. And this is harder for some people than others. And it's tough, man. It's tough. Don't let it control you. But if you become at peace, emotions come and go. Just like seasons. They'll be good. They'll be bad. It'll be cold. It'll be hot. It'll be rain. It'll snow. All that is along the same with emotions. There's not going to be a normality of just no feelings. That's just not how the human nature works. And if you are one of those people, okay, you're rare. And thanks for watching if you're still watching. But if you're like me, you know, you're going to have 1,000 emotions a day. Don't let them control you. You control them. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. But that's part of the road to recovery. I plan on getting some other people on here and doing some other shows. I didn't really do any questions and answers with my guests, but I guess I can. What are some of the things that I do to help keep my mind off of spiraling into a different path of a spiral? Because, like I said, emotions can trigger, and sometimes you might have to take a day or something to figure it out. But don't let that control you. You're going to stop it before it controls you. You're going to figure something out before it controls you. Don't let that emotion control you. That emotion is going to send you into doing things that you don't want to do, say things that you don't want to say, and put you in a place you don't want to be. If you can control that, you can control a lot of things in your life. So that's one of the biggest focuses to do. And I go a long time without thinking about it. And the thing is, when I'm with people that are drinking, never. It's when you're alone, that's when you think about stuff a lot. So get a hobby. Join my podcast. We'll be on together forever, hang out, or at least, do some conversations. Conversations help. Having conversations with other people, talking to yourself like I am right now. Well, I'm talking to you guys, but I'm also talking to myself. And I've been meaning to do this for a long time, about 4 or 5 weeks, but I've been working on a lot of things. That'll be on some other episodes. I'm looking for a couple different series to start here. So this is going to be the road to recovery. I've got the Chiefs one going, where we're live at Arrowhead every day. Not every day, every home game. And I've got my golf working. I need to probably separate the channels too, maybe. I don't know. They're all under Wolford's Way right now. Follow me on YouTube, Wolford's Way, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that. I'll be posting videos. Help me out, follow this. But yeah, that's a thing I've taken up, is this. So yeah, the golf one's the fun. That's fun. Super fun. Great content. And then I'd like to get another one with a buddy where we talk about sports and other stuff. So that's an actual podcast. So we'll see how that works out and coming soon. But I appreciate you guys. Appreciate everyone. People appreciate you. Remember that. Remember that you are wanted. Don't go down a path. I've lost too many people. Seen too many people either die from drugs, alcohol, or depression. All three killing themselves in some sort of way. Whether the drugs, drank too much, or actually pulled the trigger. They're all three the same thing. If you have an issue and you need somebody to talk to, DM me. Give me a call. I'll be there. I don't want to lose you too. Drugs and alcohol. The addiction, when you get deep into it, it's very hard to get out of it. And if you get down on yourself and think about that, don't do it. Give me a call. And I'm always open to talk to anybody at any time. To help you, help me, help us stay recovered.